This is the Edge Morning Show.
Live on 100.7.
The Viper.
Let's get this thing going.
Welcome to the fastest 2 hours in radio.
Rules in action. It's up to each one of us to know the rules and follow them. Follow.
All systems go.
The Morning Edge with Fox 2's Vic Faust, Chris Knight, and Eric Johnson. The Morning Edge starts now.
Welcome back, gang. Welcome back.
Oh, no. Not this again.
Yes, this again.
And what exactly is this?
Exactly what is this?
This is a Monday.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid
I
of.
need a pep talk.
We could use the pep talk right now.
That's a pep talk?
It's the best I got.
Best one I got.
Guess that means we should get back to work.
It is showtime. Welcome to the show, everybody. Happy Monday morning. Happy December 13th. Almost halfway through this month again. It's going fast. It is flying. Oh, what was that voice? There's a wall between Brendan and I. We can't see each other, but I never recognize his voice.
Hello.
No, there's no wall between us.
Well, emotional walls. Vic.
Metaphorically speaking,
there's
there's a wall. Hey, guys, happy Monday. Let's kick things off right at 8:01. All right, you're in this morning. For Chris, what's the excuse today?
Well,
man.
some very nice people during the power outage decided to break into one of his businesses and break windows down and steal things.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
I did. I saw the video, unfortunately. It happened over the weekend.
It sucks.
It was his vape shop, right?
Yeah, the vape shop that he owns. He's literally a block away.
Is vaping addictive?
I don't know.
That,
I assume
you got to break through the shop to get some things.
It's got a lot of resale value, I imagine, for the kids, selling it to other kids, things like that. Or they probably even thought that it was one of those medicinal shops. You know what I mean? Because there's a ton of them around the area. They just assume that every shop is a medicinal shop at the same time.
All right, check out my shot. I look dark today, or I almost like the old Conan.
The back windows are not
where he turns off all the lights, and he would used to go in the year 2000, and now it's 2020, almost 22.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hold on. Then I'll do this.
Yes. You go to that middle one too. That middle one. It adjusts. We need a white balance. Hold up the card. There. That's. Oh yeah. You're gonna enjoy that much better. It's gonna give you a nice, like you got a ring light on.
Well, how about that? I think I got a little bit better lighting there.
Yeah. See, now you got a job if you ever stop talking for a living.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Hey, guys, that's Brendan Shanahan. Eric Johnson will be in. I'm Vic Faust with Fox 2. Appreciate everybody joining us this morning here at 8:03. The phone number to give us a call, as always, is 636-695-2915. 636-695-2915. You can catch us at ViperRocks.com, on Facebook at 100.7 The Viper. Share the show as well. We appreciate that. And, of course, we always listen in to your Facebook messages as well. The interaction we appreciate, that is for sure. Certainly something that we like to get going with. We're on the air all week, okay? Then we'll hit the Christmas break. So we've got this week. We'll be here 8 to 10, Monday through Friday, as you know what we do. And get things going for you. So we appreciate it. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Brendan, the highlight of your weekend?
I went to a Christmas party.
Okay.
And that was very nice. It was a lot of fun with some people. This just in from our fearless leader. O'Fallon and St. Charles County Police have busted the guy that broke into his store and had product in hand around midnight.
How did they get him so fast?
I don't know. Oh, man, you got to catch it, dude.
That doesn't make sense, how that happens so damn fast.
He's probably trying to flip it, something.
I don't even know what they stole, but I'll take your word for it. Sounds good. We appreciate it. If you saw me hobbling in, my youngest son did a paintball party Saturday morning.
Oh.
And I was sprinting around on a course. I can't do anything just half. So I was sprinting from a location to another location and pulled both my hamstrings, severely the left one, and injured my right shoulder diving to a spot.
How many welts do you have? Did you get hit?
I got crushed all day long.
Ouch. Those hurt.
All
They
day
hurt.
long, I
It
got
hurts a lot
crushed.
more than you think.
No, it does. It really does. So anyway, we did all that. Yeah. And it was like, okay.
I'm done. It's as bad
it
as
was
drinking
not- I
really
didn't-
heavy the night before.
And the
now,
only
isn't
reason
it?
I did it was because we had two kids that could, or we had one kid that couldn't come, and there were uneven teams, and my son begged me to play. So anyway, struggling with that. Oh, let me turn my phone off. It keeps dinging. Okay.
You should have gone to too bad. 18 North Central's a little bit better because it's like an indoor scenario and it's those high tech sort of like laser guns.
This was at Gateway out
Right.
at Bridgeton. It's the best paintball facility I've ever been at.
Really?
Outdoors, they had tons of courses. One that's kind of in the woods. I mean, it's awesome. Blew me away.
Really?
The first time I did paintball was about 25 years ago in a warehouse, and you could get all hot and steamy and steam
Right.
up. Not when you do it when it's cold outside or a little chilly. So anyway, that's that. That's
First
what it
time
is.
I
So-
ever played, I got shot in the ear.
Ooh,
Man,
that would
never
be-
forget that.
That would be bad.
Every time I've played ever since then, I think about that as it's going. And the dude, it was like a movie scene. He dove and shot and hit me in the ear.
Well, that's more of the lighthearted stuff from the weekend of what's going on. It was obviously a very tragic Friday night in our area with the tornadoes, and you're still starting to see some of the effects, not only locally, but in the Midwest. Kentucky got slammed the hardest, at least the state, with several deaths. Old football Cardinal Jim Hart, great Cardinal quarterback, his grandson was killed in a tornado in Kentucky. He was in a candle factory. It collapsed, just like the fulfillment center for Amazon did in Edwardsville. Same
Right.
thing. Part of that facility collapsed. 6 people died. Another person died in Defiance. And I know you, I know it comes off as tooting your horn, but I thought Fox 2 did an absolutely amazing job with our coverage. Glenn Zimmerman and Chris Higgins and our weather team did an amazing job. We were on live from 6 p.m. We got out on
we were
everything
watching
first.
it for sure.
So we got out. I mean, we were literally, and we were at the desk from 6 all the way to about 3:45 in the morning when a new anchoring set got out. I got out of there after 1, closer to 2. And then Zara Barker, fill-in anchor, she was in. So she was there till 3:45 because we were going to be able to finally go down to 1 anchor. But covering that was just, it was a long night. It was a sad night. And it just goes to show how fast, even in this day and age with all the technology that we have, something can come through.
Right. And
Yeah.
places like the factories like Amazon, they can have their phones in the building, but they can't have them on them when they're out there. So a lot of them weren't getting that same quick alerts, things like that. I also have 911 audio of the phone call from the candle factory where Jim Hart's.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to hear it.
The situation also is one where we get tornadoes every year. This isn't uncommon. This is normal. December is a little different because, we had some warmer days. But our weather team said there's always something where temperatures always balance out. Things always balance out and eventually. At least that's what Glenn Zimmerman, our chief meteorologist, always says. So you go from that standpoint. So,
and it's supposed to have potential this week too for more because it's going to get to like 65 and then drop down into the 40s.
Hot and cold air combining.
Yep.
That's what happens. It's science. It's nothing surprising. It's nothing crazy, but that's what happens. So, we're there right now. We're trying to figure out everything that's going on. The other situation we have to deal with is now we're starting to learn about the victims. 6 people covered, or were pretty much trapped in that fulfillment center. And all it took was 1. I mean, as crazy as the tornadoes that came through, 1 person in Defiance, but it was 1 facility that had workers in it. And then the facility gets torn apart.
Right.
And then if it doesn't hit there and you're that family, nothing happens. But it just hits that one spot where that center, and I've been in that fulfillment center. I did a tour when they opened it years ago.
It's huge.
Not only is it over 800,000 square feet, not only is it massive, but there's all kinds of nooks and crannies. There's all kinds of things like you could go underneath this place, underneath that place. if a roof collapses or if siding collapses, you're going to be trapped. I mean, there's really nothing you could do.
It's a big metal box.
A big metal box with a lot of things inside.
Yeah.
A lot that could collapse or fall. Because I'll never forget walking that place going, my gosh, this is crazy. So I started thinking about all those little areas and the machinery and things that could fall. The transport system that could, trap you. And it was a little scary to think about that. So thoughts and prayers go out to the 6 victims, their family members, and, of course, the victim that was from Defiance. But then I start looking at, man, if it didn't happen, if it didn't hit that one fulfillment center, if it doesn't get hit, you're talking about 1 casualty through the tornadoes that come through instead of 7.
You know what? That big a building, they said there was only like 45 workers in there. That's the crazy part. That building is the size of like 2 football fields. It's so huge, and there was only like 45 people in the building.
Yeah, at the time, depending upon the shifts and what kind of work they had going on. I mean, it's late on a Friday night.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, when does Amazon stop?
Yeah, so I know. I know. So anyway, that was certainly sad news from the weekend. I talked about Jim Hart's grandson. You said you have video, audio. You hear some of that stuff. What is the call that you have?
So there was a woman, and her name is Kiana Parsons, and they were trapped, and there was a group of them trapped in the building, the candle factory.
Did this woman make it?
Yeah, she did make it. She did make it.
Do you have it queued up?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely.
So this was during the tornado in Kentucky, Mayfield, Kentucky, candle factory.
Yep.
This is the same factory that had casualties, I'm assuming, because there was only 1 candle factory.
Yes, this is.
This will give you an insight into what that sounds like.
I'm at work in Mayfield, and we are trapped. Please, y'all, get us some help. We're at the candle factory in Mayfield. Y'all, please send us some help. We are trapped. The wall is stuck on me. Nobody can get to us. We can't move. Please, y'all, pray for us. We were all in the safe shelter place. The whole building fell.
And you're in a safe shelter place as well. I got chills listening to that because I can't imagine. Well, I can't imagine being stuck like that. I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma for 3 years, Tornado Alley.
Right.
I'll never forget. Tornadoes started to come down our street and took a hard left one day. And my ex-wife and I and our dog, our German Shepherd, were in a hall closet. That's in Oklahoma or in Tulsa, most of the homes don't have basements.
Yeah.
The soil's red clay, and it cost almost as much to buy a foundation in a basement than it does the damn house itself.
For sure.
And most people just deal with it when you're in Tornado Alley. So you find middle of the house, if there's a basement, you go there. I still remember getting into a hall closet, stuff it into a hall closet because it got to Bixby on the edge of where we were, and it was coming right down our street. And it took a hard left, and then it didn't come in. But then I immediately went out right after just to check, and you could see the damage already. Stuff was still kind of blowing around, and it went, and I was like, okay, you've got to be kidding me. Anytime you go through a tornado situation like that.
Highway 70 corridor is Tornado Alley as well. I mean, I've been through, there's one that literally went through my backyard and tore stuff up and knocked out buildings in like the Golden Wheat subdivision, like completely gone. Next, like across the street from me, like there was a truss sticking in the ground of the house next door to me. And it was terrifying. Like all that going green, being the fact that this was at night on Friday made it a little bit even more creepy.
Well, most people didn't know it was even going on. I mean, now your phones go off.
Right.
You see there's a tornado warning. So either people aren't paying attention to their phones or they're not just paying attention to
or they're
the warning.
desensitized.
Or desensitized. My aunt and uncle were in a bar about a mile from where it hit. They didn't even know until they got home. So like, we had no idea because they're in a bar and it was loud and listening to music. And I'm like, but that was, and it's a Friday night and people are out doing Christmas parties and holiday all kinds of things. Mm-hmm. So that's what can happen. And people are starting to share some of their experiences. Yes. Also, Drew Collins is blaming it on climate change. So
Thanks, Drew.
So people are debating that. Okay. Anyway, but you're talking about 7 lives lost. That was sad. And of course, even more in Kentucky, disaster all throughout the state of Kentucky. Mayfield is where we heard that phone call from, as I had spoke about earlier. So we'll take your calls, your experiences on Facebook as well from our tornado standpoint, and just kind of goes to show what can happen. But I was just, we did what we could on Fox. We stayed on never came off the air. And we know, and I appreciate everybody watching and listening because I went and looked. People were tuned in.
Oh, heck yeah.
When I went back and looked at the amount of people that were watching on Saturday, it blew my mind. It was like the equivalent to like the Blues being in the Stanley Cup.
And think of your streaming numbers too.
In the playoffs. I'm not even talking about the
streaming numbers. Must have been ridiculous because we had to go down to the basement and we turned the TVs off and everything, but we just had our iPads and phones and everything, and we're all sitting there streaming it, like watching. Like, oh my God, look, it's right there. There's us right here, and it's coming through. It was crazy.
Yeah, let's try to get Dave Murray on the phone. Do you have his number?
I can get it.
We can try to. Well, we can call Chris. We can see if we can just get an idea. We were approaching how uncommon or weird, or why you approach 70 degrees in December, which can cause a situation like this to occur. So, Cindy, I know. Yep, Vic, we appreciate you guys. When we saw one touchdown in Defiance and we headed to St. Peter's. Yeah, absolutely. And that's when we were following the one that touched down as soon as it hit, because technology is so good now. You don't know when it's going to drop from the sky. You just know when the condition is there for about 90 to 100% that it's going to happen.
That debris signal is crazy because they're like, well, we don't know. We can't confirm because it's dark, blah, blah, blah. But there is debris in this circle right here, which means there's a rotation, which means there's this. And it was like, holy cow, how times have changed.
Oh, yeah, it is. It makes so then you're on pins and needles. You're just kind of waiting what's going to happen because you never know where it's going to hit. And, most of the time it doesn't hit. But when it does, it causes what we did. And, of course, it becomes not only a major local story, but a major national story. So if you want to give us a call, you can. The phone number is 636-695-2915. We'll also take opinions, stories, tornadoes, things that have happened from Friday night as well on Facebook, 100.7 The Viper. You can share the show, 100.7 The Viper. And, of course, check out viperrocks.com. Once again, viperrocks.com. Yeah, that was right from the Facebook line. 32 tornadoes in 5 states. That's what I think I saw too. And yes, that can happen. Is it normal for December? I don't know. I would say no, but I don't know. We'll try to get Dave on to talk to him about that to see what he thinks about it. So
working on it now.
What's that?
Said I'm working on it now.
Oh yeah. So. And you can see some of the pictures if you go to our website at fox2now.com and just some of the crazy that's going on there. After the break, we'll talk about apparently COVID's taking a turn for the worst in the minority communities yet again. That's what's driving it. Why is it hitting the minority communities again? But that's where we're seeing hospitalizations, COVID cases going up, at least that according to hospital officials. It's all a sad story. We'll talk about what Dr. Fauci is now saying. There was also, unfortunately, a 2-year-old boy that was found dead with bruises in South St. Louis. It's a story that popped up this morning. We're awaiting autopsy results of that, but he passed away on Friday. I mean, it just we're sad because at first the police were called to the report of a child being hit by a vehicle. But police said first responders found bruises throughout his body. So we're waiting on that to see what kind of update we have coming in. But it's certainly another it's just not a very good, unhappy situation to deal with. From the Facebook line, Todd says most will be unvaccinated, talking about the minority communities who are hardest hit. New York is in a mask mandate again. I didn't know that they had stopped that coming from the Facebook line as well. So we're going to take a quick break. We come back. We'll get into all of these things. Lots to get into to recap on a Monday morning. Glad you're with us. Share the show, 100.7 The Viper. Jump into the comment line or give us a call. With Brendan Shanahan, I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Eric will be here. And we'll get you started on this Monday week as we approach the end of the week. That's for sure, when we will take a little break for our own. Phone number 636-695-2915. Back with more right after this.
Dirty rugs get replaced cheap.
Get your home ready for the holidays and the new year with a visit to Contractors Flooring Supply and replace those dirty rugs with brand name flooring at dirt cheap prices. Contractors Flooring Supply is your U.S. Cortec waterproof flooring wholesaler, Mohawk and Dreamweaver direct carpet broker. Contractors Flooring Supply at the shops in Warrenton next to the new License Bureau.
Dirty rugs get replaced cheap.
Spectrum Glass is known for their quality work on windshields, but they do so much more. Spectrum Glass also specializes in residential, commercial, and automotive window tinting. Reduce the heat, reduce the fading, and increase your comfort with professional window tinting from Spectrum Glass. Serving St. Charles and surrounding counties since 1995, Spectrum Glass is still your premier company for windshield replacement. And with free mobile service, they come to you. 636-294-1800 on Facebook and SpectrumGlassOnline.com.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
and Doug. And we're back with Limu, Emu, and Doug for the final question. Category is things you climb.
All right, Limu, what do you think? You sure? We're going with Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Oh, so close. We were looking for stairs.
Huh. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Travers Automotive and RV grand opening in Wentzville across the highway from the GM plant is happening right now. We have a selection of over 1,000 new late model cars and trucks with new vehicles arriving daily. Shop from all makes, all models with financing for everyone. Looking for an RV? We also have over 200 travel trailers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes from Mesa Ridge, Open Range, KZ, Winnebago, Dutchman, and a great selection of used RVs. Whether you're looking for a car, truck, or RV, make Travers Automotive RV your one-stop destination. Located off Highway 70 at the Highway A exit.
Happy holidays don't just happen on their own. You make them happen with a little help from new appliances at the Home Depot. Because warm wishes won't roast that turkey. You'll want a new convection oven for that. An air fryer will help make the season light and delicious. And while you're at it, consider a new LG or Samsung fridge that's big enough to hold all kinds of Christmas cheer. Make the holidays yours with the season's best savings on top appliances at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Maureen saved big shopping epic daily deals at Amazon. So now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. And with her brand new tableware, everyone's welcome at Maureen's table. All of her family, friends, even her neighbor with the pet. Hey, has anyone seen a ferret around here? Found it. Dig into Amazon's epic daily deals. Spend less, smile more.
Shop on eBay this holiday season to get more for your dough on stand mixers, or get more for your buck on this season's hottest tech and gaming gear. And on eBay, you can even get more last-minute deals delivered right on time. It's the biggest deals of December, so get more because you save more with eBay's one-day-only last-minute deals. Get more when you get it on eBay.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
Hey, guys, welcome to the show. You're listening to The Edge. Eric Johnson. Brendan Shanahan in for Chris Knight today. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Appreciate everybody joining us today. Eric walked in and then he took off.
Whatever he's drinking over here smells delightful.
Well, he had to get his headset on, and we are welcoming you back to the show. Happy Monday, December 13th. Obviously, Friday night was a bad deal. We're efforting Dave Murray, see if we can get him. But remember, it's only 6:25 where he is. So that's kind of early.
The call has been sent.
And when
to
I'm
Dave.
in retirement, the last thing I want to do is get up at 6:25 unless I need to be up for whatever reason. Eric, where were you Friday night when the storms hit?
I was over at friend Patrick Cunningham's. We were in the basement, a very dark basement, and no windows, no alarms, nothing. I mean, it was just nothing. It was terrifying that it was right down there by Katy Trail, right by your house, actually, right over there in the Greens Bottom area. I mean, we're starting to get dinged a lot with tornadoes. I remember never seeing a tornado in the St. Louis area. Now,
really, no,
just one after another.
We've gotten hit with tornadoes for a long time. I remember being a kid and getting hit.
I
My
remember
grandparents' house got destroyed in the Metro East many, many, many years. It was like one of the worst ones. Not
but
recent.
St. Charles, Weldon Springs, it seems like we're starting to get targeted.
It has been a lot. I mean, since the one hit in
10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago. It literally,
I
was saying that it went through my backyard.
Yeah, that was that night. I was on my way to a show, and a tornado went right across Highway 270, shut 270 down. I literally stayed and camped on 270 for about 4 hours, and that was when I was like, wow, tornadoes in St. Charles. That's kind of an odd experience. And then it seems like, man, we're just every year we're kind of getting, those super cells are coming through and just nailing everything. So
The thing that we were talking about was that the fact that it was at night, it was really a worst case scenario for a lot of it because it was dark. A lot of people, again, were at parties, things like that, weren't, paying attention to what was going on. And, even, like Glenn Zimmerman, they had they would show you the screen like, oh, well, we're not sure if this is touchdown or not because it's dark, but we have a debris.
Yeah.
And that's why so many people were caught off guard by it as well.
Yeah. It's sad. It is sad.
Especially, yes, obviously, when you have the loss of life, as we did, 7 people in our area, not to mention what was happening in the Kansas City area. Or not the Kansas City area, but Kentucky.
And
area.
Edwardsville. Yeah, Kentucky also. Sure.
No, so that went through. All of that is what you start to get and see. So anyway, that's where we are on this Monday morning, 8:27. Appreciate people joining us here. That started to hit on Friday. And of course, that became the big story over the weekend when it came to the storm. So we'll continue to follow that and see where everybody wants to go with that and decide what you're going to see. But Eric, sorry, man, COVID cases across the country, we're being told are up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Omicron.
It's
much more contagious. It's much less lethal.
Correct. Now, we did have over the weekend, on Friday and Saturday combined, I think it was an 18 deaths, which was the highest we had since October that we're told that was from. But I'm still being told it's still the same. Again, I said it last week. It's still hitting the elderly and those with pre-existing conditions.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find out locally, who has been vaccinated that has passed away and who hasn't. The numbers have still been, at least last week, it was still overwhelmingly those who had not been vaccinated that were dying. At least that's what the hospital system was telling us.
Who has had COVID and has passed away? Who has the natural immunity and has passed? Who has natural immunity and has had COVID for a second time? How about just starting there? I mean, these are the questions we need answered now. Where are we at? What is herd immunity? Is there such a thing? Is it a ghost? Or if you have had COVID-19, are you okay? So those are, who is it? Chris Renier every morning. I think he needs to start changing his tune a little bit and start providing some other data points. And those data points are real simple. We have, like Vic said, how many people have been vaccinated, fully vaccinated, and are at SSM and just passed away? That is a great question. Or how many people have had COVID-19 where they lost their smell, they were down for 10 days, and they've been reinfected? I would love to see those numbers. But you know what? Maybe it's the Delta variant just kind of clearing out people that haven't had it yet.
Well,
right?
yeah.
I mean, that's
I guess
that's the new news. I mean, no, you just gave us news today, and we all just went, eh. I mean, you say seriously, you said 18 people have died in St. Louis, and me and Brendan just looked at you and went, yeah.
Well, you've also got Dr. Oz, who came out on Friday and said he's going to run now, or last week, he's going to run for Senate, but he started to call out Dr. Fauci now. Now, I know that when you're running, and he's going to run as a Republican, you've got to make a name for yourself, but he has come out hard against Dr. Fauci, hard for mismanagement, for mixed messages, and for not being the leader the country needs.
Is that a good enough platform for him to win?
Yes, it is.
It might be.
Yes, it is.
I mean, he's got popularity. Whether it's great popularity or not, he has it. But he came out going flat out against
Dr.
Fauci.
Oz against Dr. Phil. Who would you vote for?
Oh my. No, I think these politicians are becoming smart. You pick one issue and you focus on it like a laser beam. And he is basically he's a doctor, he's a physician, he's a rock star TV star. He's going to basically
He was anointed by Oprah.
I don't understand what that means. Because I don't care what the Oprah media circus does, but it seems to me like he's got enough facial and name recognition where he will be able to get a lot of votes, period. And you know what? We're in the age of COVID. Hey, man, just keep smashing down on it, I guess. I think he's going to do really good.
He also has come out now and said, Dr. Fauci has come out and said, it's one of those things you're just going to have to get used to. COVID's not going anywhere.
I think the problem with Fauci is he's becoming very disrespectful. If you don't believe in his way, boy, go to detention.
Yeah, he did recently say that he's not the one who created political divisiveness. But, Stephanopoulos even said that he's the one that needs to be held accountable. But once again, because this is a blue-red issue, if you're blue, you're like, well, you can't really judge this. It was changing all the time, up and down and all around, and you're just doing your best because we've never dealt with this. And then if you're red, you're like, no, you lied to us. You told us 2 weeks to stop the curve or to bend the curve, and here we are 2 years later, and now we've been shot up 3 different times, or at least
4 coming.
We're not even considered fully vaccinated unless we've been shot up 3 times.
Yeah.
And more coming. So that's the issue once again. Unfortunately, we are all divided.
Didn't Nancy Pelosi once just recently call us all anti-vaxxers? Like in a really...
Yes, she did.
I mean, that's the new deplorables. You're an
It
anti-vaxxer.
happened.
You're an anti-vaxxer.
No, it happened, unfortunately.
It just makes people that have not been vaccinated, it just makes us just not be able to stand them that much more. We're not going to take your dumbass medicine. It doesn't apparently work. People are still going to the hospital. I mean, it's such a bad topic to talk about anymore. It is red and blue. Basically, whenever you talk about vaccines, you're not talking about human health anymore. You're literally talking about politics. Are you a Trumper or are you a Faucier? Not even a Bidener. He's just kind of sitting in the corner in a rocking chair. Fauci does seem like he's running the country when it comes to COVID right now. So it's just so political. It's horrible.
Oh, it is. It is. It absolutely is. And it's where we are, and we're not going to see this change. It's coming through. Here comes the flu. Now we're starting to address that. And by the way, I was told that we do have that when the makeup of the hospitals now locally includes people with flu, includes people with COVID, and other issues.
Yes.
And that's when you get the percentage of the hospital max. That's not just, quote, COVID cases.
Right.
It's all cases.
Yeah. Do you remember when there was no such thing as
Not
COVID?
that it makes it better for the people who are working in the hospitals, but it's not all COVID patients in the hospital.
Do you remember a time before COVID, or was there? Or has a hospital in the St. Louis area ever been dinged so hard that it was like, oh my God, flu is overwhelming the system. Colds are overwhelming the system, like the emergency rooms. Has that ever happened at all?
Yes, it happened just a few years ago.
Okay, so COVID wasn't a thing.
No,
China
they had to set up little, like, I don't even know what the proper word, tents outside the hospital triage a few years ago because the flu hit us so bad. It was at least 3 years ago. But we didn't cover it like we're covering
because
COVID.
it was just a thing, right? It was the
But
flu.
it wasn't. But people but people hadn't died like they were dying with COVID, but it was maxing.
I didn't know that.
It was maxing. Well, going back to our days with Dr. Eric Naputi, he brought that up and showed us those examples. Yes.
So
that happened throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. It
How about that?
absolutely did.
Okay. So same thing. I mean, it's like you're right. It's like this is the time of the year where you get sick. Colds, flus, infections, viral, this, that, and the other. So it's not that impressive anymore to hear about all these COVID hospitalizations when it just kind of is this mishmash across the board. We need to know the data, but I don't think anybody is afraid of Omicron anymore. The people,
Omicron,
fine. The good people of South Africa are getting this thing like it's going out of style, and it doesn't seem to be killing anybody down there, right? I mean, that's the data.
Yeah,
believe in science.
No, absolutely. No, you're right.
But I mean, so is the Delta variant and Omicron? Are they going
to have a
flu
baby?
strains?
Are
Are
they
they
gonna have a
just flu
baby?
strains? Really?
Or Omicron?
Omicron. I am Omicron.
That's funny.
Omicron means there's lots of croms. But do they just become a flu strain? In all honesty, and is it
no?
Because COVID is a flu strain, basically.
God,
right?
we need a doctor right now. We need a doctor on the phone right now.
About what?
I'm going to tell you what. Because COVID-19, the way that this thing was so violent in the beginning was that it caused this thing called a cytokine storm. It had nothing to do with your respiratory situation. It was more of a blood situation, which is what we learned on this show. So if you're not having this cytokine storm thing anymore, if you get that, we need to know what's going on with this virus from this point. I don't have any clue. Do you die or do you get hospitalized because of pneumonia in the lungs, or do you get it because of this cytokine storm where your immune system keeps attacking it? How is this working anymore?
Why does that even matter? Like, why are you freaking out about, not freaking out, but why are you so concerned about that?
Because I want to know what the dynamic with this new disease is, this new variant is.
There's
I want to know what the dynamic is.
There's nothing new. There's nothing new. All the doctors and what we've been told is the early research is more contagious, less dangerous.
But what happens if you get COVID with the vaccine? Is the cytokine storm officially?
They don't know.
They don't know yet?
They're not
2
telling
years
they
into
don't
this?
know.
Wow. Believe in
All
science.
research is telling us that you're safer with a vaccine than without a vaccine. That's what they're telling. That's what medical officials are telling us.
Okay.
Whether it's true or not, that's what they're telling us. But then you also see, and there are reports, you don't see them as often, that say you're better off. Here we go again with natural immunity. But then once again, how long's natural immunity? And then there's a debate on that too.
What is Dr. Oz's
You're not
stance?
going to find a doctor that's going to tell you definitively.
But see, this is where
you always want the perfect answer, and you're not. Those that don't exist in life.
See, I do believe in science. I am a science cat.
Yeah, so
I
am
am.
and I'm a huge
am.
but that has nothing to do with science.
Well, yeah, you're looking for the definitive answer. I mean, and again, it goes
And
to
even
the point,
science
just because you
doesn't
don't
give
like the
definitive
answer doesn't mean
answers.
that's not the answer.
I know, it's like...
As you have seen, both sides, red, blue, for COVID, against COVID, believe in COVID, don't, a vaccine, mask, everybody is quoting science.
You think by now we would be
Everybody on all sides.
It seems like by now we would be able to dive into the minutia a little bit. What happens if you've had COVID-19? You have COVID-19. Are you in jeopardy? Actually, no. The T1 cell seems to kill this thing and then that and the other. That's science. That's like science that we've known about for 200 years kind of science. Like, we know how viruses work. We know if this happens, if A happens, X is going to happen, which will equal Z. It seems like we can dive into the minutia of this thing a little bit, but it seems like they never give us that answer. I would like to know if you have, and I've had it, if I've had COVID-19, am I a little bit safer? Do I have to worry so much about going to a Blues game or a Kansas City Chiefs game, which, by the way, was sold out yesterday, amidst Omicron?
But here's one of the things, like when I was in the hospital a few weeks back, one of the nurses that's there, and she's on the floor that does most of the COVID cases.
Sure.
She said, we have seen people that have been vaccinated come back into the hospital.
Yes.
But one of the things they have not seen, or at least she said that she had not seen, was someone who had COVID and been fully vaccinated had not seen any of those. And for sure, 100% had COVID, fully vaccinated, and booster. No, she's seen 0 of those.
Okay.
Well, Dr. Page is having a press conference right now as we speak on Fox 2. If Brendan wants to pull that up, he can. I don't know what he is speaking about. I'm assuming it. I thought it might have been tornadoes, but tornadoes really didn't hit St. Louis County. So not quite sure. I just know that there was a presser that was supposed to go on, but we do have, well, it was supposed to be at 8:30.
They're doing something live from a Belleville home park that was damaged in the fire on Monday.
Oh, yeah, because there was another fire. There's a lot going on. Belleville mobile home was severely damaged in a fire early this morning. No word on any deaths, so to speak, but it happened on Royal Mine Road. A man was cooking inside the home when the fire started, unfortunately. So, obviously, we're talking a little bit about what's happened with the COVID situation from the weekend, where we are, hospitalizations. Last I saw on Friday, we were approaching 90% capacity when it came to the hospitals. But once again, it wasn't just, quote, people dealing with COVID that felt they needed to be hospitalized. It was people dealing with flu and all sorts of issues. So just get you caught up to date on everything there. Dr. Fauci is still saying from the Facebook line, you need to get vaccinated and wear a mask. And that's why, another reason why Dr. Oz, who is now running for Senate in Pennsylvania, said you can't trust Dr. Oz because of what several other people have already said. At first, it was 2 weeks to stop the curve or bend the curve. Then it was get your vaccine or stay at social distancing. Then it was wear a mask, you'll be fine. Then it was let's have some lockdowns. Then it was the vaccine. Then it was the vaccine and mask. Then it was the vaccine, mask, stay away from each other. Mm-hmm. Then it's another vaccine. Then it's booster. So, I mean, you see, that's where we are with the whole situation right now. And I'm just bringing up the facts of what people are saying when it comes to the politicians when they go back and forth.
It's ugly.
And it's so weird to see how different places deal with things. So if you watch, like, Saturday Night Live, so they're all on stage together on Saturday Night Live, and nobody has a mask on. But yet at the end, when they come on and everybody does the whole thing where they're standing on the stage, they all have masks on.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Eric, you and I were standing 2 feet from each other, yelling at each other in a scene. Mm-hmm. But now that we're out on stage,
it's a political. They're trying to show that they are in solidarity with the Democrats. That's all. I played at the pageant Saturday night. I went and got a COVID test because I had to get a COVID test.
That's your first COVID test.
It took me listen to this. It took, we got a call like at 9:00. Hey, do you guys want to open up for this band called Steel Panther? And we're like, yeah, fine. So we go in and we're like, okay, fantastic. See you guys down there loaded in 4:00. Oh, don't forget mask. And we're like, of course. And COVID test unless you've been vaccinated. So the entire band scrambled to get a vaccine or a COVID test. It's not easy. I don't care what anyone says. Getting a rapid COVID test, Vic, is not an easy thing to do.
It's very easy.
It is?
I could not disagree with you.
Well, if you're driving around looking for a COVID, it's not like getting a hamburger.
Yeah, when you need one like, oh crap, I better go now.
Yes, like the plane's leaving in an hour, you're screwed.
That's a lot more difficult than I got to get one within the next 24 hours.
Exactly. And guess what the irony is? They didn't ask for it at one time. So the entire band is scrambling to get COVID tested, which is a pain in the ass and free, by the way. I didn't even know
How
that.
much time did you have to do the test?
Literally about 3 hours, 4 hours. I got it in 2. I had an hour buffer in there. So,
which is pretty good.
And the 2 hours was spent driving around from urgent care to urgent care. So no matter what you say, St. Louis County, it is not easy to go get a rapid test and boom, you got it. And
well, if you schedule them online, it is actually pretty easy.
Okay, I didn't.
No, it's not. Yeah, you can try, and it all depends on CVS, Walgreens does them, St. Luke's Urgent Care.
Not all CVS. I went into one that's right down here, and no, they didn't do it.
Okay, well, most do.
Most do,
and it's pretty easy. I mean, I literally when I needed to go, when my voice was bad, and go get tested. I was tested within an hour at St. Luke's Urgent Care. I just called around.
Yeah.
Were you drinking when you were trying to set this up, Aaron?
Well,
Duh.
not
He was
yet.
getting ready- He was getting ready to play.
Not yet. No.
How did it go?
I was nervous for a few minutes. I thought I might. With all the people that were around, thought maybe I got it. So, an hour later, I was like, "Oh, negative, cool."
That's
it went
great.
fine. It went fine.
Well, think positive, test negative.
Think positive, test negative. Did you guys see Chris Wallace retired from
We haven't
broadcasting?
even gotten
today?
all that part. Well, he hasn't retired.
Oh, so he's just leaving the Fox family? Is that what it is?
He's going to CNN, Eric.
Shut up,
dude! You need to wake up.
No, that is not
What the
true.
hell, dude?
Why
What
are we
have you
talking
been
about
drunk
COVID?
have you been drunk
It's
all
100%
weekend?
true.
Have you been drunk all weekend?
Wait,
Eric,
stop. Yes,
Eric, you
the
say
answer is
something
yes to your
crazy.
question.
Eric, you come on. You're like, what?
Yes. Are you kidding me? Is
You
Chris
sound
Wallace
like
going
you
to?
sound like a train wreck.
I am a train wreck. Is
Yes,
it? Stop!
it's true.
Stop talking unless you tell me. Is he going to CNN for not?
He's going to CNN.
Is he really?
Yes. Not a joke.
No, you're lying. I take a break or do something because I got to
Use the Google box, Eric.
So why did he leave the number one? I mean, by like millions of people, the number one news outlet.
I'm looking for the article right now where it says, but the word is he's going to CNN.
Dude, they must be paying him $100 million a year.
He's
then.
going to CNN Plus, a streaming service launching in 2022. He's going to CNN.
This
yes.
is- don't you
surprised
think
didn't-
this is the biggest
How could
story
you
of
bring
the
up Chris
day?
Wallace and not know that?
Because I basically was just sitting there watching his dopey Sunday
no,
show.
the tornadoes were the biggest story in the loss of life. That was definitely by far
Definitely
the
that
biggest
was
story.
the loss of life. But as far as political nonsense goes and
Yeah, we haven't
media
even
goes,
gotten to political. We're getting to it now. I mean, we've always got a lot to talk about, especially on
God,
Monday.
this is just overwhelming. How do you leave an audience that is in the his show's in the tens of millions every Saturday or Sunday morning, and he's going to go to a streaming service now?
If you don't like Fox News and you're a hardcore liberal Democrat,
He helped start Fox News.
No, he didn't.
Sure he did. Fox News Sunday, he basically it was his thumbprint.
Whether people want to say it, Chris Wallace.
Here we go.
He's a Democrat.
Yeah, I will give you that. He
I mean,
definitely is.
all you had to do was look at what happened.
Yeah.
He became
Mike Wallace was also, but look at how
he became a lightning rod of controversy at Fox News. He moderated arguably the worst debate in the history of the country. He was a terrible debater when it came to, or moderator dealing with Trump and Biden. And his contract was coming to an end, so he's leaving. He's moving on.
Okay.
He's going to CNN.
I just had to show him the
He
pudding.
did. Look, this is big. Look, why am I freaking out about this? Because it literally a week ago, I said, if I was CNN, I would say, I'm sorry. We've been very political. We've been very hacks. We've been hacks about being on the left. We're going to moderate. We're going to bring in some moderation in here. We're going to try to straighten the ship out. And boom, they did it. CNN got Chris Wallace, who is a Democrat, but has been very fair and balanced across the spectrum as far as interviewing people.
What?
Dude,
Eric,
yes, he has.
You lost your mind?
He has. He has.
Eric,
you're thinking.
I don't know what you did this weekend, but you were like way over the
Where
top.
has Chris Wallace been a liberal hack for the Democrats?
Oh my
When?
God!
Seriously?
How about his interview
With who?
President Biden or President Trump at the time?
Yes.
He went at, I think you forgot this interview before the election. He hammered him and was completely one-sided and didn't do anything with Biden. It wasn't even, and that's
I know that a lot of people are pissed at him.
And that's when everybody went, "Oh my God, look what he has done." You really saw it come to fruition during the Trump administration and then during the
He was
second
definitely
election.
a never Trumper.
And
Definitely a never Trumper.
Which made him a biased reporter.
I know what you're
And
saying.
most are national. They are.
I understand what you're saying. I do. But I saw him interview Pelosi before and just go after her.
From the Facebook line, Wallace has never been a moderate. I mean, it just
Really?
he's an Eric.
I mean,
once again, your heart is in the right spot. Like, oh, I really want to believe this, but no, man, no. You saw it with your eyes. You ripped Wallace after that interview, and then you ripped him after the debate.
But I've seen him,
and you forgot already.
I've seen him rip Pelosi. I've seen him rip Obama. I've seen him rip a lot of people. He does not throw softballs. And I guess it's like you're going to be one or the other. You're going to be a Democrat or you're going to be a Republican. Wallace is probably more of a Ronald Reagan Democrat than he is a AOC Democrat. He's not.
Wait. Time out. Repeat that.
He's more of a Ronald Reagan. Likes Ronald Reagan. Nancy Pelosi likes Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan Democrat.
Yes, that there is such a thing. I liked Ronald Reagan. I'm a Democrat. That's who I. If I'm going to.
But
Nancy Pelosi likes Ronald Reagan. Let's put it that way.
What?
She liked Ronald Reagan. You see what I'm saying? He was a Republican. She's a Democrat. They got along.
She probably dated him.
She would never like Ronald Reagan.
She always talks about Ronald Reagan, a Ronald Reagan Republican.
Because can Ronald Reagan defend himself right now?
Well, he's dead.
Thank you. My point exactly.
I'm just saying there are Democrats out there these days that say, man, bring back the good old JFK days. Bring back the Ronald Reagan days. They are Ronald Reagan Blue Dog Democrats. They're not AOC. And that's what Chris Wallace was. He was not AOC.
But
wait, what I was trying to
Here's
say.
Chris Wallace interviewing Trump.
They don't test like
Is it
we
possible
test.
that they don't have the virus as badly as
No, it's
we
possible that they don't test. That's what's possible. We find cases, and many of those cases heal automatically. We're finding, in a way, we're creating trouble.
A lot of people say this is because we don't have a national plan. You talk about states. We don't have a national plan. Do you take responsibility for that?
Look.
See, he doesn't give any sort of
because it's ultimately my job too. I have to get everybody in line.
This was like a Rose Garden interview. I can't even see it, but I remember. I watched the interview, and I would be fine if he did that with Biden too, but he didn't do that with Biden, and that was the problem. And he didn't demand, and he did not demand an interview like that with Biden. He just went after Trump, and then on top of it, he became the moderator. And in the moderator, so he was terrible.
Yeah,
he
no
was
doubt,
absolutely
Agreed.
terrible.
Agreed.
And if you remember, President Trump's speech in South Dakota with Governor Noem in front of Mount Rushmore. Do you remember that? I think it was during the summer before the election.
Yes. With the
he ripped that up and down. He and Brett Hume for like 10 minutes, and I'm going. And you and Chris came in and said what a great speech it was. And he ripped it up and down. I don't forget this crap.
Very good memory. But unfortunately, I'm pulling from his Fox Sunday show.
Regardless, he's gone.
And
he's going to CNN where he will be very happy.
It's crazy to me.
Oh, yeah. But just looking at some of the stuff. Remember when
Glenn Thompson says Wallace called Trump a racist. Is that balanced?
Wallace also asked Trump about his health, but didn't mention it to Biden at all.
He was not fair and balanced, unfortunately.
If you wanted to look, I agree. I'm 1,000,000% agree with you guys. He was a never Trumper. He basically screwed up that whole debate.
Then that was his legacy.
You're right.
I mean, that's the
You're
last.
Right. Yep, you're right. I think you look at people like Dan Rather. He had a great legacy going, and then boom, he did the whole George W. Bush debacle. And then that was what he was known for. You had the Brian Williams. You had Chris Wallace do that. But, man, I'll tell you what, for 20 years, he did go after Democrats.
Yeah,
I saw him rock some dudes, man.
He did. But I'm telling you, at the end of his Fox career, he did not. He changed.
Yeah.
He changed. Yep. And that changes who you are, unfortunately, and how you're remembered. I mean, it does. And then he goes to where?
CNN.
But that's smart for CNN. Like Eric
is.
said, bringing someone, at least he's closer to the middle. You know what I mean?
Well, then AOC, yes.
Absolutely. I mean, he's closer to Jane
Chris
Duker than
Cuomo.
he is, a lot of others.
He's
Don
way
Lemon.
more. Yeah, like all those. But that's how he is now. What happens when he gets underneath the roof at CNN?
He might blow the roof off that place and say, we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Oh, my Lord. Come on.
All right,
man, you are messed
Look,
up.
they used to be the most trusted name in news.
That's the problem. You're still caught up in the 80s and the 90s.
News is news. It's never going to change for the next 1,000,000 years. News is still going to be news.
I love your.
They're still going to be using the voice of Darth Vader.
I love your hope. I do.
It's coming, man.
Because I'm a happy guy.
It's coming.
And I believe in positivity and being happy and having fun.
Good.
And listening to nerd music, as you call it. And having a smile on your face.
Geek rock.
I do. But I also understand what truth is as well. And I'm glad you brought it up because when we come back after the break, we'll read you what Brian Williams said. Not only did Chris Wallace say I'm leaving Fox, Brian Williams took exit stage left. And who would have ever thought in a million years Brian Williams would say what he did? Now,
I know! Another cryptic message!
Now, what Brian Williams says is definitely what you're talking about.
I know. I can't figure it out.
We didn't even get to it, though. We'll get to it when we come back. Happy Monday, December 13th. Welcome back to another week of The Edge. We'll be here all week before we take our break. Monday through Friday, 8 to 10. If you want to give us a call, do so. 636-695-2915. Share the show, 100.7 The Viper. Hey, let's just all smile.
This is The Edge Morning Show.
Live on 100.7
The Viper.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish
It's pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said, now we speak Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Weber Chevrolet has been in business since 1902. No other car dealer in St. Louis of any brand can say that. Nobody sells more Chevrolet, period. Weber Chevrolet is one dealer with 3 roofs. In Missouri at Olive and 270, and in Illinois Metro East, Columbia, and Granite City. All easy to get to, just follow the 270 loop. Also, all online accessible at WeberChevrolet.com. Right now, Weber Chevrolet is open but very thorough in their cleaning, disinfecting, and social distancing rules. And don't forget, Weber Chevrolet service departments are award-winning and second to none. In fact, other dealers send their problems to Weber Chevy to fix. Now during this crisis, Weber Chevrolet has teamed up with Detroit to come up with awesome deals to help people save money and manage their budget. Discounts, incentives, and the ability to not make your payment for up to 4 months. Weber Chevrolet since 1902, WeberChevrolet.com.
Welcome back to the quickest podcast ever, brought to you by Kohl's.
Today's topic, holiday traditions.
They're the best.
Agreed. So I went to Kohl's and got 40% off Cuddle Duds throws for movie night and 40% off outerwear.
Ooh, for caroling?
More like sledding. Also got an Amazon Echo Show 8 so the kids can bake with Grandma.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That was the extra 25% I saved and the Kohl's cash I got.
I take it saving's one of your favorite traditions, too.
You know it. Select styles. Offers end December 8th. Some exclusions apply. Amazon coupons do not apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Brushes Heating and Cooling in Troy wishes for their many friends and customers that the love, happiness, and warmth which fill the season continue throughout the coming year. For winter service calls, remember to call your local experts. Merry Christmas from BrushesHeatingandCooling.com.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut-rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hi, it's Julie again with Ben's Moving and Storage in Wentzville, Missouri, located at the intersection of Wilmer Road and Interstate Drive. We offer on-site security and 24/7 access. We are proud to have served as your one-stop shop for all your moving and storage needs since 1984. Right now, we are offering $25 off moving or a free month storage for new customers. For more information, visit us at bensmovingandStorage.com, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook for future storage sales. Ben's Moving and Storage in Wentzville.
Now another hour of The Edge Morning Show on KFNS Troy St. Charles. The Edge Morning Show.
Ask Sherwin-Williams and get your color your way. We've made it easier than ever to try and buy color. Preview paint colors in your home with our Color Snap app. Then visit swsamples.com to have color chips delivered to your door for free. Or order some peel and stick samples to try on your wall. When you're ready to paint, shop online or stop by your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store and get everything you need.
The Edge Morning Show is coming right back.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The new Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed is the only bed that effortlessly adjusts and responds to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. The new Queen Sleep Number 360C2 Smart Bed is only $8.99, plus special financing. Ends Monday. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Viper Weather with legendary chief meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, this is Viper meteorologist Dave Murray kicking off the new work week. Lots of sunshine on this Monday. It's chilly out the door this morning. You would expect that. But we should get up 59, 60 degrees for the high this afternoon. That's pretty nice. Tonight, clear skies down to 40. Tuesday, a mix of clouds and sunshine. 68 for the high on Tuesday afternoon. 70 is the record from 1975. So we're going to be close to that. Wednesday, mainly cloudy. It's windy. It's warmer. 72 on Wednesday. The record Wednesday is 76 from 1948. That's also the highest ever temperature in December. And then we've got rain and a few rumbles of thunder on Thursday into Thursday night. Still kind of unsettled Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it will be colder by the end of the week and this upcoming weekend. From the Viper Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray. Now back to the Edge on 100.7, The Viper.
Whipper River Electric, a Touchstone Energy cooperative. The Edge Morning Show.
Local headlines now with Fox 2's Vic Faust.
Hey guys, these morning headlines are brought to you by Playoff Sports Bar and Grill on Highway K in O'Fallon. Mike, the owner, has one of the best happy hours in town. We're talking the wings, the burgers, all the sports you can handle inside, patio, and takeout dining at Playoffs. Always a good time in O'Fallon, Missouri. Well, the Blues win streak was ended yesterday. They lost in overtime 3-2 to Anaheim in St. Louis. Blues going to get back to action. Hopefully, can get another win. They still have a lot of people out with COVID and with injuries. An unfortunate story here. A 2-year-old boy found dead with bruises in South St. Louis. Police were called on Friday. We're awaiting autopsy results, but he had bruises all over his body. A Belleville mobile home was severely damaged in a fire early this morning. We have video and pictures of that massive fire of that mobile home. It started with a man cooking inside, but you can catch that out at fox2now.com. Also, more coverage today, 6 victims from the Friday night tornadoes in the Amazon Fulfillment Center warehouse collapse. Such a sad story. 6 people died there from the tornadoes that came through. 1 person in Defiance. We continue. You can check out the names and some of the family stories from that horrible tragedy that hit our area as well. Well, also minority communities in the St. Louis region hitting hard by COVID-19, seeing the situation now take a turn for the worse. Athenia Healthcare Leadership Group says that months ago they observed a drop in COVID cases, spurred by a 3% positive test rate, but now COVID test rate has shot up to 8% in the minority communities. And in St. Louis, it's now, and that was 8% in the minority communities in St. Louis City. Now the minority communities in St. Louis County up 10% positivity rate. So Athenia says they're attributing the rise to the Omicron variant, but also to the public's wariness with wearing masks. So they're saying that it's up because people don't want to wear masks. That's Look at Your Morning Headlines. I'm Vic Faust.
The Edge Morning Show.
And welcome back to the morning. What the hell are you playing?
Eric, what is this?
I don't know. You stumped me. I feel like Tabitha Hassel all of a sudden. I don't know the music.
Stop it.
Really?
What is it? Let's go. Girls' School by it's Steel Panther.
No, it is Glory Hole by Steel Panther.
Glory Hole by Steel Panther. That's right.
Look at that. He got it. We were trying to trick him.
You got it. It took him a while, but he did get it.
And it sounds like static because that's just the song.
And welcome back to the Edge. Eric Johnson, Brendan Shanahan, I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Brendan in today because Chris's shop, one of his vapor shops, was vandalized and broken into.
It was smash and grabbed.
Robbed. It was a smash and grab at his store. That's a St. Charles County store, correct?
Yes.
It was during the power outage, too. 2 blocks from...
That's even worse.
2 blocks from the police station.
If you're going to smash and grab, don't be a punk. Do it when the lights and cameras are on so we can find out who you are, you punk. But good news, we found him.
Already, that's crazy.
How about that? See, that doesn't happen in New York. You don't find them in San Francisco. But in O'Fallon, St. Charles, hell yeah. We got you. Go on. We'll be at your house in about a day and a half.
That's pretty much how that one went down. It's
good job.
Fast. I'm not so sure that it happens that fast in any other county as it did in St. Charles County, taking care of Chris to get people back, I guess, answering to justice, so to speak.
Yeah.
That is incredibly fast.
I mean, it really is. It really, really.
But how unnerving is it? You show up at not even show up. I guess you hear about it. Maybe an alarm goes off. Who knows? I haven't talked to Chris about it that much. He just sent pictures and you could see it looked like they used a brick or something to smash it.
It looked like a brick.
Yeah, plate glass window, and you show up.
There's a rock on the ground that you can see,
right.
and that's what they use to break the window.
Yeah. Do you keep that? Is it put it in your
put it
collection?
in the fish tank? He needs to put it in the fish tank.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. But you show up and you feel so violated. You feel like, man, what the hell? Now you're everything you own is exposed to the elements. You walk in, you have to figure out what they took, what they didn't take. They didn't take any money. They just took vaping stuff.
Yeah, they didn't look in the register or anything.
Which is why I asked Brendan to start this show off this morning. Is vaping addictive? Because it just seems like somebody needed their vape product so that they could get their nicotine fix.
I mean, it's just like smoking or anything else. Just it doesn't. There's no second. Oh, I got secondhand vape. You don't see any of that. And they say it's. I'm sure somebody's getting popcorn lung out of there.
Eric from the Facebook line, Matthew says it doesn't even happen across the Missouri River. The justice system is a joke. It's like a revolving door.
Oh, no doubt. We talk about it all the time here.
They want
something needs to get
pass
fixed
along from the Facebook line. Okay. You were talking about, or at least we all were, you brought up Chris Wallace, leaving Fox to go to CNN on their streaming service. Interesting, the streaming service, because streaming services are pretty popular.
Yeah.
You get some money there, but he wasn't the big news. That was yesterday. The first one of the week was Brian Williams, who we've talked about recently because of his, I was there and I did this, and he really wasn't. Then he kind of made a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah, he was primed to be the guy that took over what's his name? On channel NBC, Brokaw. Was going to take over Brokaw's seat. He could have been a $42 million a year guy for the next 20 years, and he did the whole thing where he was on the helicopter.
But even when he did it, that was kind of the end of the main big national news anchor.
Lester Holt, isn't he a good?
He's the closest thing to it. Okay. But we don't have those anymore because there's so many people get their news from so many different varieties.
True.
And people have lost trust in national media.
True.
Which is why I've always said you should watch local media. The problem is local media doesn't cover the national stories with local people.
Yeah.
We just take what's given to us.
Yeah.
That's all the resources we have. We do the best job we possibly can. But Brian Williams signing off. Quote, this is, and now if we had it, if you find it somewhere, Brendan, because I didn't ask you to find it, but if you can find it, I would much rather listen to Brian talk about it than me, or at least to hear him say it with his own words. But I mean, they were the final words of the NBC anchor Brian Williams.
So what do you think happened? I mean, you're in the business.
I have no
Any
idea.
idea what happened?
And I've heard nothing on the inside.
Nothing on the. That's got to be a total. I mean, you would think about it like if Chris is leaving Fox to go to CNN, it's because of ideology, right? I mean, is that safe to say? That it's ideological? Is it money?
Whoa.
Chris Wallace?
I have no idea. For Chris
okay,
either.
so Brian leaving, maybe it's he doesn't subscribe to what's coming up through the channels.
Now with Chris, I have no idea. I mean, I can speculate, but I don't want to speculate.
Yeah.
With Brian, I think it's clear as day why he's going, because he does not agree with how things are being handled.
Yeah.
At NBC or MSNBC or anything under the Peacock.
It's MSNBC. I think, let's see if this is fair. It's like when you go and do what is called market research, and if you participate and you're one of the focus groups, they'll say something and they'll say, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? If you said Fox, you would go conservative. CNN, you would say liars. To me, this is my own. MSNBC, I think racist and socialist. That's how you get your news from organizations like that. When you see Fox 2 local, you think, and I think you think, honest, I guess would be the word I would come
hope
up with.
So.
Honest would come with
no spin.
Yeah, no spin. So you wonder what's going on behind the scenes of these quote unquote news organizations.
Well, I'll go ahead any luck there, Brendan?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. I believe his last words were 2 longer paragraphs that he starts off with is my biggest worry. And he ends with, as an aging volunteer fireman. I mean, that's what we got from Brian Williams. So we'll play this in a second. But it is so interesting. And it didn't get much. Once again, it was a weekend, late Friday news drop. When you have big stories, they're news drop weekend stories. Chris Wallace, Brian Williams, the weekend news drop. Here we go again. So we'll play Brian Williams right now.
After 28 years of Peacock logos on much of what I own, it is my choice now to jump without a net into the great unknown, as I do for the first time in my 62 years. My biggest worry is for my country. The truth is, I'm not a liberal or a conservative. I'm an institutionalist. I believe in this place, and in my love of country, I yield to no one. But the darkness on the edge of town has spread to the main roads and highways and neighborhoods. It's now at the local bar and the bowling alley, at the school board and the grocery store, and it must be acknowledged and answered for. Grown men and women who swore an oath to our Constitution, elected by their constituents, possessing the kinds of college degrees I could only dream of, have decided to join the mob and become something they are not, while hoping we somehow forget who they were. They've decided to burn it all down with us inside. That should scare you to no end as much as it scares an aging volunteer fireman. To my coworkers, my love and thanks, and I say again, everyone I've worked with has made me better at what I do. To my family, love and thanks doesn't begin to cover it, but now I have the time to better express it. My friends know who they are. No one's been blessed with better friends. To the guests on this broadcast,
Brian Williams talking about the mob burning down.
What does it mean?
What
I mean, does it mean January 6th, or does it mean the Molotov cocktails inside of famous bars or Macy's?
What's the famous movie about, like, the world coming to an end, and you see all these, like, officials, like, kind of just fading away, going out into places like, I'm gonna go do this, or just retiring, and then suddenly they find out that there's a comet coming to destroy the earth. Like, one of them just decides to go out onto a fishing boat and go out onto his thing. He retires, and then all these other people are just sort of dropping off.
The darkness on the edge of town.
That's the worst part of that.
Has spread to the roads, the highways, the neighborhoods, the local bars, the bowling alleys, the grocery stores.
That's
And
profound. That's profound stuff,
they're
man.
talking about an anchor at NBC, not Fox News. NBC saying this. So think about it, Eric.
I don't. I've been thinking about it. What does it mean? And these are the guys that
The
know.
mob burning down.
Well,
That means he even can't take the right, that left wing anymore.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, maybe.
Could that be it, Vic?
I don't want to speculate.
Because how many?
You have to.
He was.
That's all we got.
They tried to cancel him. They
Who
kinda
tried
did.
to cancel him?
Brian Williams, when they back when it was like made up stories and things like it was what 3 years ago.
No. NBC canceled his ass, and then they put him back in the bullpen at the kids table and said, "Hey, you want to work at MSNBC overnight?" 11th hour? No, not really, but I
The
guess that's
fact
all I
that
got.
he's leaving a high-paying job at NBC and saying what he's saying and was allowed to say that, Eric?
No, allowed is...
The fact that the technical difficulties and the test pattern didn't show up while he was talking is amazing.
I got a feeling he's not liking what's going on at NBC.
But what does he not like the white supremacists that are? Who's the shadow? Is what I want to know. Who's the darkness spilling into the cities? What is his? Because when you're that close to the vest, you know a lot of stuff. He knows inside baseball with the stuff we don't know. What does he know that's coming? Doesn't that kind of creep you out a little bit? What does he hear in the newsroom? In other words, I need creepy music. Go.
No, you don't need creepy music.
I need creepy music. Give me some creepy music.
Eric, look around our country.
Give me some creepy
We're
music.
divided. This is an NBC anchor.
That's what we're talking about. I know. Well, it's MSNBC, to be fair. It's not NBC. The NBC at least has to look like they're playing it straight. MSNBC does not. How did he end up there if he's
Our
so
listeners,
conservative?
If you go ahead and give us a call and let us know if you have an opinion of what Brian Williams is saying, 636-695-2915, or jump in on Facebook. I'd be curious. When you hear Brian Williams, what do you think he's referring to as taking off? And the darkness that's hitting the community in the street, in the bars.
There we go. Now look.
Oh, my God. Eric's already coming off a weekend bender. Something's up with him. No, and now you're catering to him. I have no idea where this is going to go.
I live.
There you go, Brendan. You're super talented.
It is my choice now to jump without a net into the great unknown, as I do for the first time in my 62 years. My biggest worry is
Okay,
for my
all right, I
country.
get it. I
The
get it.
truth is, I'm not
That
a
actually
liberal
doesn't
or
work.
a
He's too
conservative.
fast.
I'm an
He's too fast.
institutionalist.
He doesn't have the right inflection.
It's no Vincent Price.
Right, exactly. So Vincent Price.
Darkness falls.
Because he's not trying to be.
Run and beware.
I don't think he's trying to scare people. It's a frustration.
Dude, it's the creepiest mental visual that I've ever heard any anchor say. The darkness at the edge of town. It sounds like something you would watch in the movie theaters.
It sounds like a cryptic message,
It does.
doesn't it?
It sounds like he knows something.
The chair is against the wall. John has a very long mustache. It's just like some sort of cryptic message.
you
to
just
everybody.
never know.
The grandfather clock went off at 12:01.
Oh, my God. I was trying to leave somewhere the other night, and some guy grabbed me. He goes, hey, I watch you in the news. He's like, our society is going to be weeded out within the next couple weeks. And I'm like, oh, my God.
What does that mean?
It's the purge.
No, I mean, I hear stuff. I know exactly. And I said, what does that mean? And he goes, well, I can't get into it all, but you're going to see everybody's going to be a little happier when it all gets weeded out real soon. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Both
Who's
sides
gonna be
couldn't
happier?
I don't know.
Who? Vic,
I
you
don't-
know things
I
that we don't know.
See, you
What
would
do you
sit
tell-
down and spend time with somebody wacko like this. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to be nice to everybody. And I try
Okay.
to move fast. I try to say hi to people. Hey,
Yes.
all right, nice, then I move on. I have no idea what he was talking about.
I'm going to tell you right
I
now.
think
just
Vic's
giving you an-
Illuminati. Vic is Illuminati, and he knows more than we believe he knows.
I'm going to tell you guys right now. Listen, when I do a PRL show, people know where you guys on Facebook and you guys that listen to the radio, they show up and we have conversations, and they have some of the best thoughts I've ever. I mean, that sounds crazy to me what you just said. That something's going to happen. Keep an ear out to the rails.
But at least you know, because it was going to be in the next couple of weeks, next 2 to 3 weeks.
Is it really?
Oh, according to this guy.
What is it? Did he lay any kind of? Let's just say, don't
No,
look at
Eric.
the
Is it
east.
stock market related? Because
Eric.
that's supposed to blow up too.
Yeah, we know that too.
Well,
It's supposed to blow
that's something you got to keep an eye on for
For
sure.
sure. Stock market is predicted to just either take a huge crap or go through the roof.
I can't.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Look at his face. If anybody can see Eric on camera
I
right now,
blew his
you look
mind.
pale.
I blew his
You,
mind.
you, literally- you look pale, like you were sitting here like, I can't believe that Brian Williams tells us there's a dark cloud coming.
I don't like that
Well,
crap.
apparently I made a really weird look when you said, yeah, Vic must be Illuminati.
I didn't say he said it.
I know. I was looking at Brendan. Sorry. You and I don't see each other.
See, we don't know. We look. I'm just gonna shut up now.
Look at Vic,
because I
he
don't want
is
to end
Illuminati.
up. I don't want to end up suicided somewhere. So I'm just shutting up about the whole Illuminati darkness at the edge of
You better worry
Town.
about that, not talking about Illuminati.
I'm done. I'm done. Knights of Columbus crap. I'm out. I don't want to know. You guys do what you do.
Oh my God, Eric.
Look, you're the one that said that someone came up to you that is in the know.
No,
that said
I
in the
didn't
2
say-
weeks.
I didn't say they were in the know.
Well, I don't know that you
they
believe them.
acted like
Okay.
they were in the know, and said, and it was just bizarre. It was just so bizarre. He's like, well, the society is gonna be thinned out in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Wow.
Anyway. And he was and I'm like, what are you talking? He's like, well, you'll see. And I'm like, what the hell is going on?
The
man?
vaccine bombs are going to go off.
But Eric,
Natural selection is happening
Eric,
as we speak.
but most people I run into or who come up or recognize me are great, wonderful people.
Well, maybe he's a great, wonderful people.
But every now and then you get something that's a little strange. I'll never forget the time that I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I was there for a couple weeks, and some guy came up to me and he goes, "You a Yankee, ain't you?" And I went, "What?" He's like, "You don't sound like us here." He's like, "You a Yankee?" I'm like,
you
oh
better
my-
watch yourself.
And I'm thinking to myself, well,
I'm a Cardinal.
and I'm like, okay, well, I grew up in St. Louis. I drive a few hours southwest, and now I'm a Yankee. Okay, I gotcha. And he just scowled at me for a while.
Yes,
because you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Out there.
So you can put partial truths in anything. And I'm going to, we have Scotty Gherkin was on here for Conspiracy Friday about 6 months ago. And you can put a partial truth into anything. And partial truths basically.
You do that all the time.
I feel like I need to do. But hey, I'm just reporting what I hear on the street. You need people like me, Vic. You need people like me. But you can put a partial truth.
Me on there.
You can put a partial truth into anything,
Then
and
let's-
all of a
okay.
sudden you can make
Brendan.
a story out of it.
Brendan, can
and
you
it
play
becomes
Brian
a truth.
Williams one more time?
Yes.
We'll
Yeah.
play Brian Williams one more time and let you try to figure it out. Then we'll get off of it and move on from it. But it does make you wonder. I can't remember ever hearing an anchor speak like this.
And it must be acknowledged and answered for. Grown men and women who swore an oath to our Constitution, elected by their constituents, possessing the kinds of college degrees I could only dream of, have decided to join the mob and become something they are not, while hoping we somehow forget who they were. They've decided to burn it all down with us inside. That should scare you to
I'm
no
getting
end
it. I'm
as much
starting to
as it
figure it out.
scares an aging volunteer fireman.
I'm getting
To my coworkers, my love and thanks, and I say again, everyone I've worked with has made me better at what I do. To my family,
No,
love
but
and
you
thanks
started it
doesn't
kind of
mean
late.
you
Brendan.
cover
You
it.
started
that was
no,
the time right from the beginning.
No, it wasn't. But that's
My
fine.
friends
It's
know who they
I got this. I got this. I got this. I got this. Brian Williams is talking about the old school Democrats, which he is. MSNBC is a Democratic. Stop. He believed in the Nancy Pelosi's at one time. He believed in the Chuck Schumers at one time. He probably believed in the Bill Clintons at one time. All of a sudden, these people are saying to themselves, look, these little AOCs and these little Cory Bushes are coming in and they want to destroy everything to build something new. And that's what he's talking about. He doesn't believe in going and smashing and grabbing in Los Angeles and San Francisco and at I Quit Vapor. That's what he's talking about. It just hit me like a light. Bam!
Well, it's better to show up than to not show up at all, even if you're late.
Are you talking to me?
In general.
I had a rough weekend. I'm fine.
Well,
but that's what he's talking
Let's
about.
talk about your weekend when we come back.
No, let's not talk about my weekend. Let's talk about your
okay.
weekend.
What, getting hurt playing paintball?
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I heard you all right?
Yeah, I can barely walk, but that's all right. Because I can't do anything half-ass. And these kids have mouths on them, so I want to... I don't believe in just
They
sitting...
talk trash.
I don't believe in just sitting back in a little, like, tree stand and just waiting. It's like, give me a paintball in my hand, and I will run at you, and I'll smash it on you with my hand. I don't need a gun.
Oh, that's a grenade.
I'm like freaking Rambo. I'm like running down.
It doesn't do you any good because the kids, they sit in the trees.
Vic
and they
looks at
shoot
his
ya.
kids and he's like, it didn't have to be this way.
It
didn't have to be like
They
this.
drew first blood. All right. No,
Vic brings a knife to a paintball game.
hell yes, I do. You would go deer hunting, grab a knife, and run the doe down.
Oh, you're going to get a hammy.
All right. Yeah, and I did. That's a problem. I'm too old to do what I used to be able to think I could do. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk with Dave Murray. Are these tornadoes that off weird? Is it climate change? You won't miss it. Dave Murray calling in right after the break. All right. Back with more right after this.
Hold on.
Well, look at the time. I'll try to keep this brief. After 28 years of Peacock logos on much of what I own, it is my choice now to jump without a net into the great unknown, as I do for the first time in my 62 years. My biggest worry is for my country. The truth is, I'm not a liberal or a conservative. I'm an institutionalist. I believe in this place, and in my love of country, I yield to no one. But the darkness on the edge of town has spread to the...
All right. We don't always do this, Vic. But we got Dave Murray on the line. So
I love it. Instead of going to commercial break, we're going to take, when you have a superstar, you go to the superstar. You don't make the superstar wait.
No.
Because the superstar or said superstar will remember that.
However,
and tell his people not to go back onto that show ever
there's
again.
something cool about being on hold and in the green room. There is something cool about that anticipation waiting to get on air.
Really?
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
There is?
it's like 2 hours earlier there where,
yeah, I
where
guess you're
Dave is. He's like, yeah, can we just go?
Dave's like, yeah, what do you want?
Yeah. Hey, Dave Murray, it's been a while since we talked to you. Happy Monday morning.
I don't know. The snacks are great, though, in the green room.
I know. Yeah, the Oreos. Yum.
Eric still remembers the 80s and 90s, Dave. Everything from Eric's perspective is 80s and 90s.
It is true. I am
There
living.
aren't green rooms anymore. There aren't
There's not?
M&Ms. No.
What?
No.
There's no riders?
There's... Dave, please explain to Eric that those days are long gone.
Yeah, now there's a hallway
That's
and a
a
snack
shame.
machine.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is. It is that way. Dave Murray joining us, the one and only. We appreciate it. Haven't had a chance to catch up with you. We're having some fun with you, but we did have a tragedy on Friday, not only in the St. Louis area, but Kentucky, the Midwest, the tornadoes, well over 30 tornadoes hitting the areas. Obviously, we had 6 tragedies at the Amazon warehouse, the fulfillment center in Edwardsville. We had another one in Defiance, Missouri, from tornadoes moving through. The possibility of conditions being there again this week. What's going on? Is this very, very uncommon for December? Because we had some people battling on our Facebook page this morning, and then you heard those 2 words that come up, climate change.
Oh, sure. You know, it's first of all, there were 5 tornadoes in the St. Louis area. Edwardsville, which we all know about. Defiance, we all know about. There was one in Wellsville. There was one in Ramsey and one in Ellington. All quite different. The Defiance and the Edwardsville tornadoes have been labeled EF3s, which are major tornadoes. 150-mile-per-hour winds in Edwardsville, 165 in Defiance. The Edwardsville track was quite short, kind of more in line with a tornado, a little over 3.5 miles. The Defiance tornado, though, was on the ground for 21 miles. It skipped up and down, but the track was 21 miles, and the other 3 are shorter tracks. But Edwardsville, Defiance were the 2 big ones in the area. Is it rare in December? Yes, it is rare in the wintertime, but we get tornadoes anytime in the St. Louis area. And so is it a surprise? No. Was it a surprise? No. We had pretty good warning on that this was going to be a pretty active line, especially from the St. Louis area to the south and to the east. So it should not have caught anybody by surprise. But I think it does when it's a nighttime event, and it does when it is in December, especially pressing in towards the holidays. I think a lot of folks lose track of what's going on. But it is the intensity, when you look at the overall picture, it's also very rare. But this stuff does happen. Again, we've talked about this a lot on this show. You can't label every event climate change, and you can't label every event as the worst ever. You know, when it comes to tornadoes, if it hits your house, it's the worst ever, no matter what time of
It's a
year
great point.
and when. And so that's what it comes down to. You know, there was a lot of misinformation that got out in the height of all the chaos, which is kind of normal in breaking news. And then things start to calm down as the facts really start to come out. But this stuff does happen. The Kentucky stuff is quite amazing. Even to me, it's quite amazing.
Why the Kentucky? I'm sorry, Eric. What
No,
did you
go
say?
ahead. No, I agree. The Kentucky stuff is just it's such a level of intensity. It's like the difference between a prop plane and a jet engine, and that took out. And you always in the old days in the 80s. You would hear about one or two houses in a block getting blown away. This is an entire block that just got wasted, and then all of a sudden, what's it attributed to? But yeah, it's horrific.
No question. And the track, there's still to go out and research this. The National Weather Service folks are the folks who go out and do this. It's going to take a long time because it appears this tornado sequence could have been on the ground for over 200 miles. So there's a lot of footwork that has to be done, and it's for the most part a pretty rural area. So you got to get after it. I think one thing that comes out to me in this event is that the companies that have these factories, the Amazon factory in Edwardsville, the warehouse, it's huge. It's monstrous. The candle factory. There's a lot of now, armchair quarterback type stuff is, did anybody really know what was going on? Because you're inside. There's no, like at Fox 2, there's very few windows, and Fox 2 basically is a warehouse.
Yeah.
And we always have had discussions of where people go in that, and it's a Friday night. People shift change in Edwardsville. Were people really aware of what's going on? I don't know. That's something that each company really has to take a close look at, and an event like this makes companies look at it, and then it just kind of fades away and say, okay, let's not worry about it right now.
Dave, I said this earlier. My uncle and aunt were just a few miles away from that tornado, and we're at a bar where there was a band. They had no idea that it was even going on. Had their phones put away, just enjoying a good night, and had no idea it'd even come through.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem of a night event. It's part of the problem of a Friday night event is that you tend to just lose it. I have to tell you, I've really looked at the radar for this Mayfield for the Kentucky stuff. And we always talk about hook echoes, and you look for the hook on the radar because that's where the tornado is. The hook on this thing was incredible. I mean, if a 2-year-old could say that's a problem, and that's a big problem. And in Mayfield, the warning on this thing was 45 minutes. That's how big this thing appeared on radar.
Wow.
So there was a lot of warning that this thing was coming. And but again, if you're not paying attention, if you're not getting the warnings, if your TV's not on, if your radio's not on, if your phone's not on, if you don't have a weather radio, all these things that come into play, or you have a weather radio and it was turned off or it was in a different room. These are all things that you really have to consider. And I know there's been talk that some of these factories and warehouses, aren't allowed to have cell phones on. That will probably have to change.
Yeah. So also I heard we're in 240 days without significant snow in St. Louis. It's like, I can't remember, it's around there. And I wonder, we're talking about the intensity of these tornadoes. Do you think of that as a problem? Is that we have had no significant snow in St. Louis or in the Midwest for such a long period of time? And I heard that maybe just recently it started, but the ski slopes in Colorado and everywhere, there's a small percentage of them that are actually open to full capacity right now because there's just no snow. What's going on with that?
Yeah, there is Colorado in particular. They've had some snow, but not much. Usually, just let's come down off the mountain. Denver usually has snow by this point. They haven't had much. They had a little bit a couple of days ago, but in contrast, and this is kind of weird. The California mountains had about a foot of snow last week, and they've got another 2 to 3 feet of snow coming tomorrow. And so the events are happening. It's all part of we're in this La Nina pattern right now. I'm just not going down the rabbit hole of climate change. But the variety happens. Just in contrast, a little history for you. On this date in 2000 in St. Louis, 7.1 inches of snow.
Mm-hmm.
So December is one of these months, and I know you're talking over 200 days. But December is a month that brings everything, and because the season is trying to change, winter's trying to take over, fall doesn't want to let go, and we see this on every time the seasons change in the St. Louis area. There's always a pushback. No, I don't want to give it up yet. You're going to it's going to take over, kind of thing. But we didn't have much snow last year. We had some. I think we're going to have more when we look at the end of this year, right? But variety.
That's a bummer for our listeners. We're losing Dave on his connection for some reason. Dave, if you can hear us, I don't know where you're at. Go to that better part of the house, maybe? I don't know.
No, I think it's on our end. It's on our end.
El Nino is coming through.
And there's El Nino and El Nino. And it seems like they're all...
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, perfect.
Is that ready?
What is the difference between El Nino and El Nino? I know that...
Okay.
La Nina
La Nina is cooling of the Pacific Ocean, and El Nino is a warming of the Pacific Ocean. And it's critical. It's one of the 20 different things you have to look at for long range and overall weather patterns. But those are the two you always hear about.
Dave, we're being told on our Facebook line, somebody says, remind Dave, remember watching you on Good Friday when the tornado came through the St. Louis area.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to remind me of that. That was an event. In fact, that was one of there were two really big events that happened in the St. Louis area that got our station really talking about where do our people go. That twister, that one in particular, was very close to Fox 2, very close to the building.
I remember you on air hearing all that.
Oh yeah, it was, and that was also one of these storms that we knew it was coming. There's these big storms that you see on. I'm talking short-term type forecasting here, but they show up. They tell you what they're doing. Whether it be a major hail producer or a tornado producer, it's the littler storms that get us because the warnings just aren't there. A tornado all of a sudden comes out of one of these storms. It's up and down, and then it's back up again. Those are the ones that are really frightening because you don't really know they're coming. But the bigger storms, you almost always know they're coming. You're just hoping that the people around you are listening.
Do you miss it at all? Like during the getting in the war room like that? Those situations?
I miss, I don't miss the day-to-day stuff at all, but I do miss large events, which is one of the reasons I do this. It's why I'm on the radio stations, is it keeps my interest going, keeps my brain going. But the grind, and Vic knows this, the grind of day-to-day television is no, I don't miss that at all.
No, and specifically for the chief meteorologist, because what people don't realize, most people don't realize, not only are you doing the job of the scientist, but you're also a business leader, you're an administrator, you're in charge of a department, you're in charge of people's days off, you're having to worry about who's filling in here, who's filling in there, and everything else that has nothing to do with the science of meteorology.
Oh, exactly. And you know what? You have the promotion that has to go on. You have the meetings that have to go on. You have to make sure the department knows what the weather is.
Trust me, I've been asked before, what do? Do you just show up like right before the news and do the news? And I used to laugh.
You hear that all the time.
I was like, no. You're there all
I wish.
Well, I show up when the show still started. Dave, we got 73 degrees on Wednesday. Anything to be worried about this week?
Great question, Eric.
It is a great question. It's one of these things that always, all of a sudden, thunderstorms jump into mind. If folks were around during the blizzard of '82, that hit, and then a couple of days later, another snowstorm was coming in, and everybody thought, "Oh no, here we go again." It's the exact same thing. Of course, that was a much smaller system in that case. But every time there's a setup of a cold front coming through, and there's moisture coming up from the south, and the conditions are right, you have to pay attention. I do not believe that what we have coming up as we get into Wednesday night and Thursday, even though we're going to warm up quite a bit on Wednesday, close to record temperatures, we pay attention, we follow it, we really watch it, but I don't believe the setup is like we saw last Friday.
Okay, well, that's better news there. Dave, thanks for joining us impromptu today. We appreciate the updates. And as we get off the air, you said it was, I guess, different what happened Friday, but not unusual. I'm trying to make sure that our listeners understand.
Yeah, it is. It's unusual, but it happens. It's rare, but it happens. Even because it is December, it's not what you would expect in December. But any month in our area, you get severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. It should not be a surprise.
All right, Dave Murray, we appreciate it. Have an awesome day, my friend.
You too, guys. Great talking to you anytime.
See you, Dave.
All right, don't go anywhere. When we come back, Sam Page had a press conference this morning, and he is now calling Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt 2 names. So Dr. Page held a press conference, and it was solely to attack Eric Schmidt, the Missouri Attorney General, today. We'll get into that when we come back in regards to where this goes in our society. How does this play out in St. Louis County? Where do we go? Just reporting the facts. We'll be right back right after this with more Edge. Don't go anywhere. Share the show. 100.7 The Viper.
The Edge Morning Show. Yeah, we know we don't start as early as the other shows because we're a lot smarter.
Shop local with Revolution Mattress in O'Fallon. When you come in, you talk to the owners, Kevin and Lisa. No high pressure and no salesperson stalking you through the store. Kevin and Lisa will help you pick out the perfect mattress for your body and sleep position. Most of their products are made in America with a 10-year non-prorated warranty. See why Revolution Mattress has 5-star ratings on Google and Facebook reviews. Revolution Mattress, locally owned on Main Street in O'Fallon.
Hi, this is Dr. Erin Huey with Tomasino Gerst Vision Source. We provide a ton of specialty care: glaucoma, diabetic eye care, dry eye evaluations, now myopia management. Typically, we see patients that need vision correction for a variety of hobbies, for work, most often glasses and contacts. Come and see us at Tomasino Gerst Vision Source, dryoureyes.com, 272-1444, dryoureyes.com.
FNS Collision Repair is your donation station this holiday season. Bring new, unwrapped toys to our Toys for Tots location in Troy before December 10th to spread holiday cheer to less fortunate children in Lincoln County. FNS Collision is also your donation location for Buddy Bags, providing food to local children. Donate non-perishable items for distribution through Lincoln County schools. Help support Toys for Tots and Buddy Bags to spread holiday cheer to our local families. Follow FNS Collision Repair on Facebook for prizes and special promotions.
Hi, this is Conrad Bellman at Bellman's Carnection in St. Peters. Right now is a great time for you to get a Carnection truck, car, van, or SUV. With our huge selection, you'll be sure to find just what you're looking for. We take lots of trade-ins and are buying pre-owned vehicles every day. Get that quality pre-owned vehicle you've been wanting from Bellman's Carnection in St. Peters at Highway 70 and 370, where you'll never pay the max. Online at carnection.com.
Start with everyone with a brand new puppy they cannot leave home alone. And there he is now, disemboweling a sofa. Now narrow it to the puppy parents who need to get their prescriptions refilled today. For you, there's Walgreens same-day prescription delivery. Medication sent right to your door from the local Walgreens you already know and trust. So you can spend all day at home teaching your new puppy some manners. Elroy, roll over. Or just sit there and tilt your head. Aw. To join, text JOIN-RX to 21525.
Hi, everybody. It's Brian Dawson with Brian Dawson Roofing. Fall's coming up. With all the leaves, those gutters get filled up, and those leaves don't get flushed out. What they do is they get packed in that downspout hole, and it makes a dam, and that gutter just fills up and comes back on the fascia board. We get a lot of calls whenever there's an ice storm, or if it's a snowstorm, it gets up underneath the shingles.
Brian Dawson Roofing offers high-quality work performed by qualified professionals.
Visit BrianDawsonRoofing.com or call 636-465-9465.
Shop 40 to 70% off almost everything at Gap Factory and gapfactory.com this week only. Plus, new deals on outerwear and sweats. Save through December 15th at Gap Factory and gapfactory.com.
Welcome to MegaNet. For slow internet, press 1. For indifferent customer service, press 2. For confusing pricing, press 3. For extremely long wait times, stay on the line. You are 87th in line, 85th in line, 87th in line, 85th in line, 85th in line.
Where there was frustration, now there's satisfaction.
Hello, this is Helen at Gateway Fiber. How may I help you?
Isn't it time you refreshed your internet provider? For more information, visit gatewayfiber.com.
Now, back to the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. You're listening to The Edge on a Monday morning, December 13th. Time is 9:45. We had our time switched up just a little bit. We decided to take Dave Murray. So we had him. We took a break a little later, but we are on now. We've got you for about, I don't know, just under 10 minutes here. All right, so here we go. With everything that's going on with this. I don't even know where to begin with this, but here we go again. St. Louis County continues to provide national headlines. This stuff isn't going on anywhere else in America but St. Louis County, where you have the Missouri Attorney General and the St. Louis County Executive going back and forth. All right, last week, St. Louis County lost in court to, well, first of all, it was a judge ruling out of Cole County who ruled that health departments could no longer put COVID protocols in place to, quote, stop the spread of the virus. Okay. Then the St. Louis County group, or St. Louis County Executive Group, and Dr. Faisal Khan eliminated any sort of mask mandate from their website. They said that they were eliminating it. Then the judge ruled basically in favor, Judge Roboto ruled in favor of Eric Schmidt's lawsuit against Sam Page and St. Louis County Council. Okay, or not council, but St. Louis County Executive and St. Louis County. Okay. So it was over, no mask mandate. And then this morning, what happened is St. Louis County Executive Sam Page decided he called a press conference yesterday. He told the media yesterday. So today, at his press conference, the county executive of St. Louis County called Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt a bully and a menace.
The darkness at the edge of town.
He said that Schmidt was using his Twitter account on Friday night to tag Page in some posts. Schmidt posted, forced masking and CRT have exposed the establishment class. They resent parents having a voice.
Oh.
They don't like that an attorney general will actually stand up to them, fight for parents, and be unafraid.
Here we go.
This is Eric Schmidt talking in his tweet that he tagged Page on. The tide is turning. They've already lost. They just don't know it yet.
Oh, snap. That's probably what Mahomes told Carr last night after the game.
So, yeah, no kidding. So clearly this is frustrating and riling up St. Louis County Executive Sam Page, who is calling this move, which whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, whether you think it's safe or not, Eric Schmidt has just dominated Missouri courts. Absolutely dominate. And he won last week for what he feels is right for society, which Sam Page does not feel, which is right for society. So I'm just calling this right down the middle. But Eric Schmidt has dominated most anybody and everybody that has come to court. And he's winning. Whether you agree with it or not, whether you like it or not, whether you think it's safe or not.
There's nothing to not agree with.
So Page is calling it he says that all this is just a political stunt because Schmidt's running for a U.S. Senate
It
seat.
is not a political stunt. I don't think that Schmidt would care if he is running for something or not. He has principles, and they are called the Constitution. You don't mandate anything in the United States. There should be no mandates in the United States for that long a period of time that affects that many people, that stifles development of human brains, little baby human brains. So, no, Eric Schmidt is a rock star, and he should be applauded for this.
Well-
Sam Page, really, to be honest with you, if he was a legitimate executive, he should literally say, look, and this is what I would do. If I felt so strongly about it, I would basically get everybody in the room. I would have a discussion. I'd say, look, we had a fantastic 5-hour discussion. We disagreed on some things. We agreed on some things. We actually came to a compromise on some things. But this I'm not going to say it. Sam Page will not do that.
I'm glad you stopped the name.
I had to. I don't want to call anybody a name.
Exactly. People who call people names are not using their
I don't
brain.
want to call people a name because it's ridiculous. But
You should never call people names.
He's the
Not you,
executive.
but anybody in general. Use your brain.
He's the county executive. You're elected to fill potholes. You don't mandate anything. You have known about this long enough to know it doesn't work. You have been out in public without your mask. We got pictures. If you really felt that strongly about it, you would have your mask on everywhere, but you don't. Now, look, Eric Schmidt basically is winning these things because because the judges are making the right decisions, period.
Well, it's based on law, but you're right. But Eric, we told you what Eric Schmidt said about Sam Page, which you personally liked. But here's what Page said about Eric Schmidt. In campaign for higher office, and I'm kind of dwindling this down quicker, he's using the health of all of us in this game of who can be the most irresponsible to ensure the most headlines. Those spreading misinformation and bullying children and parents are a menace to society. Page calling this to Schmidt. By not taking COVID-19 seriously and selling what amounts to carnival quackery as the pandemic rages on.
Wow.
Another
he called
variant-
somebody a name. There you go.
Yeah, well, he did. Well, he called Schmidt. He's called him carnival quackery, a bully, a menace. All this as another variant is spreading. Vaccine acceptance is lower than it needs to be. Hospitals here and across the country are sounding the alarm. Then now here's Page going after, and this is from our Fox 2 Now Facebook page article. Now he goes after county council, which is Republicans and Democrats, white men and black women. The council's failure to pass a mask mandate is disappointing and irresponsible. I hear from so many of our residents who ask what the issue is with the council, especially residents who have seen the pandemic hit their districts particularly hard. Page also says the council should adopt the public health order that was presented to them last week and continue the mask mandate. This is up to council, by the way. If council decided on this, they could put it back in place.
Yes, they could.
School districts have the authority or have students wear masks, but the signal from the county council would make their jobs easier. Page is also saying that, quote, long COVID, here's a new topic for us that we haven't really discussed a lot on the show, or the lingering effects of the virus include symptoms like depression, loss of taste and smell, chest pain, and more. The symptoms can last for months. He says the disease needs to be studied more, and a vaccine is the best resource for getting the virus in the first place. There is no law against wearing a mask, and everyone should do so to help stop the spread of the virus.
No. There's no law against wearing a mask. I know a lot of people that wear the mask, but you know what? Even if it's one or two people that think it's unconstitutional to make me wear a mask, okay? Then those are the people that won't wear the mask, and they won't have to be fined, and they won't have to shut down a business, and they won't have the health department called on them. That's the problem here, is that you're using the levers of government to make a mom put a mask on a 2-year-old kid as she goes into Bed Bath & Beyond. That's the problem. The kid doesn't want to wear the mask. Well, look, you're going to jail. Look at that. Or you're getting kicked out of the place.
It's just so divisive, and it's just so frustrating. We don't need people in elected positions calling others names. We just don't. But Page is referring to...
You know what Eric Schmidt's doing? He's walking off the field and he's pointing at the scoreboard. See, that's what Eric Schmidt's doing. As I see you, Sam, and he's just pointing at the scoreboard. That's it.
That's certainly one way to look at it. Oh, man. Man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. And is this all good for Eric Schmidt and his and his desire and goal to be
he's the front runner,
the U.S. Senate winner to replace Roy Blunt in that seat that will be open.
We don't even talk about him going after the Mexican border. Talk about that one during the campaign. He's a rock star. He's a doer. You don't hear about the Attorney General from Wyoming. It's the Attorney General from Missouri, baby.
Eric Johnson, Brendan Shanahan in for Chris. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Back with more right after this.
Hey, it's Shanny from the Legendary Lunch, and I'll tell you what, this has been such an amazing football season so far. So many great games, so many great plays that you don't want to miss a single snap. And Mascots Bar and Grill has you covered for that. They get every single game every Sunday. They have NFL Sunday Ticket, and they've got some of the best food around. Enjoy your Sunday game day at Mascots. Play in the Bags tournament out front. Come inside, watch all the games. Keep track of all your fantasy players. It is so much fun at Mascots on a Sunday. You won't want to miss it. And if you tell them you're FOS, you're a friend of Shanny's, you can get that legendary lunch special all day long, $5 for a big old burger and fries. It is so delicious, and you don't have to do the dishes. Hang out every night of the week if you want. Come play rock and roll bingo, and you can win some great prizes at Mascots Bar and Grill, 4881 Mexico Road in St. Peters. Mascots, home of the legendary lunch special.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Come on, one more rep. You got this. 10. There it is. Nice work, man. You're a beast.
Thanks, man. I feel better than I have in years. And I got to tell you, taking Nugenix makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix? That's the testosterone booster with TV ads with Frank Thomas. The big hurt, right?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is Testofen, which helps boost free testosterone levels and increase lean muscle mass.
Well, it's clearly working for you. Hey, are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try for themselves?
Yeah, Nugenix is a great way to increase lean muscle and feel stronger with more energy and endurance.
Man, I need to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
No problem. You just got to send them a text. Text TIGER to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of new Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help get you back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text TIGER to 42424. That's TIGER to 42424.
Hey everyone, it's Brian Dawson with Brian Dawson Roofing and Construction. I'm here to remind you it's time for exterior work on your home, so call me. I deal and work with all insurance companies. I also do non-insurance work as well. I know it's your money and your castle. I want and will do what it takes to make you happy with whatever it is that you want done. Roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and if I don't do it, I know somebody who does. So call me, Brian Dawson.
At 636-465-9465 or visit BrianDawsonRoofing.com.
You need health insurance. BJC can help. This year, having health insurance is more important than ever, and top quality health insurance that includes BJC hospitals and physicians is available in Missouri and Illinois. To get coverage through the marketplace, schedule time with a BJC certified marketplace counselor. Call 855-747-4994. To learn more, visit bjc.org/marketplace.
Kreckler Jewelers at O'Fallon has amazing Christmas gifts in every price range, and now carries the exquisite Bolari line of jewelry and Kendra Scott and Keith Jack lines as well. Kreckler Jewelers has watches from Seiko, Bartucci, and Obaku. And Kreckler Jewelers can design a custom, one-of-a-kind piece just for you. Get the perfect Christmas gift this year at Kreckler Jewelers in O'Fallon at K&N.
Now's the time for a visit to Jay's RV in Warrenton. Whether you're looking for a new or pre-owned RV, are ready to winterize your RV, or if you need service and repair, Jay's RV is the place for you. Jay's RV in Warrenton also does RV and automotive bodywork, so they can fix the dents and dings on any vehicle you have. Sales and service the way it should be. Check out the RV specials online at jaysrvrepair.com.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
Yes, it is closing time for this Monday. Getting off to a great start of the week. We're with you all week long on The Edge. For Eric Johnson, Brendan Shanahan, I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Appreciate everybody joining us today. It was a good show. We'll see what happens tomorrow. there's any more fallout in St. Louis County, thanks again for Dave Murray as well joining us. And my, oh my, get ready for some milder temperatures throughout the week.
I'm going to get a tan.
Gotta love it, man. I'm sorry, it's December. It's 75 degrees out. Here's the coolest part of it is it's almost January. January's coming up.
That's right.
You're on the back half of December.
So it is closing time. Have an awesome Monday, everybody. We'll see you tonight for Fox 2 News at 5 and 9.